and JJ.
Hit it!
It's time for The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you and glad you're along for the ride. Today's new drug is a bunch of big stories in the world of sports. I tell you what, if you do this job long enough, some of us have done it a really long time, you don't always get a lot of news drops on June 23rd, right? Gigantic news day today.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, there's an NBA draft that we might talk about at some point in the show.
Yeah, a good one at that.
Yeah, right. One of the more talked about ones in a long time. The NFL has decided it will not hold a supplemental draft, so Brendan Sorsby is not playing college or pro football this year.
And they gave a pretty scathing response to Brendan Sorsby's registration letter to try to get in a supplemental draft.
Yeah, of all the things that they wrote him a long letter, what Hacker's talking about is essentially the one sentence I know you're talking about is they said, you sought to avoid consequences through litigation rather than accept responsibility for what you did.
Whew.
Now, that was from the league to him.
Yeah.
But that's a major story. College sports are trying to push through this age limit thing, which is if you don't grandfather anybody in, that really affects a lot of players now. That's a major story. Obviously, there's a draft tonight. And I think the biggest golf story to come around in years broke today. That the PGA Tour and Lee Smith, I've asked Lee, who does such a great job talking golf with us. Lee usually stops by on Thursdays at 4:15. I asked him to come 2 days earlier because today's the day the story broke that the PGA Tour is going to be like the Champions League. That they're going to have two series. I want to say this right: a championship series and a challenger series. And again, if you care about this, and you should if you're a golf fan, keep listening because Lee will do a way better job explaining it than I'm going to do. But I'm going to at least set it up. There's going to be a champion series and a challenger series. And the top 120 or whatever players are in the championship series. And so however, like 144 will be in the challenger series. And then if you're not in the top 90, you get relegated down. And so many get promoted up. And then there's a chance to save yourself later. But it's a fascinating concept. That there's going to be two series. It doesn't start next year. It doesn't start till 2028. But to me, when I saw the story today, and I'm a big golf fan now, so that's one of the reasons it hit me as hard as it did. But it is a major story that the world of golf is going to have relegation and promotion for the best players in the world.
Yeah, I was reading about it, and the one thing that really is of interest to me, like you said, relegation. So there's going to be 120 players on essentially the championship side of things, which is the PGA Tour as we know it. There'll also be the Challenger Series, which I guess for lack of better terminology is the second series. And if you're in the championship series, the bottom 25 to 30, I don't know if we have an official number yet, but basically the bottom 25 to 30 are going to face relegation unless they have a great last chance 6 tournaments at the end of the year where they can win their way back on to the championship series for the following season.
And there will be a point system, and maybe Lee will know more about the point system when he comes in a few minutes, but there will be a point. They'll change the point system around. But can you imagine you're watching it and Jordan Spieth, or probably not JT, but Ricky Fowler, players that everybody knows, need to make so many points at the Tour Championship or whatever, one of the late tournaments, to avoid relegation.
Unbelievable.
I mean, and by the way, there's so many pieces to this. The postseason's going to involve match play.
Mm-hmm.
I love match play.
Yeah.
I mean, match play is and I've always said that if you're not a golf fan and you've never watched match play, if you just watch golf, you're not going to understand why guys just pick their ball up. Yeah, I mean, there's so much to it if you're a golfer. So anyway, it's a fast, and we're going to keep Lee for a while today because this is a big story in golf. So I think it's the biggest story in golf to come around in professional golf. I can't tell you how long, other than a player emerging, Tiger emerging, or whoever, Scotty. I think it's the biggest story to come along in golf, other than player-centric stories, Tiger getting in trouble or Tiger play. You know what I mean? It's a gigantic story.
They teach us a lot of stuff in broadcasting classes when we're in college, a lot of questions and how to phrase them. Sometimes the most simplest questions are the most important ones. I'm going to ask Lee this. I'll ask you this right now. In your opinion, why?
Yeah.
Why is golf going to do this beginning in 2028?
Lee's way better at answering it than me, but I will tell you my opinion, and that is they're trying to breathe a little life into it. Every sport's always trying to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball tried to get better by quickening the game with a bunch of rules, pitch clock, and they made the game better without shifts. You're always trying to make your sport better. Football's changed the kickoff about every year, right?
NASCAR has done a million things to change their sport.
So you're always trying to make your sport better, more competitive, more exciting for the fans. And I think that's so. My guess is that's it. Now again, Lee will know. Lee can get in the weeds with that more than I can. But that's my guess. My guess is let's make it more. Because it does make it more like the other sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like oh my God, the relegation, by the way, JJ, you want to follow soccer way more than we do. Relegation works in the Premier League, right? I mean, it motivates, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's no tanking.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we see tanking in golf either.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get like guys that are. I don't think guys out there are not giving it their all right now, though.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. I don't. You're right. It's not to prevent bad effort. It's just, but to me, it makes it exciting, and I think
I'm just worried, like, who's going to watch that second league?
Yeah, well, we'll ask that question today. We'll ask the question, and a lot of the tournaments are going to go on at the same time.
Yeah,
but 6 or 7 are going to go on when the other ones aren't going on.
And if a person from the challenger, the quote second league, were to win the United States Open or the PGA, they get an automatic spot in the championship league the following year.
Yeah, if you win a major, if you do something right. So, but it's a great, to me, it makes it really exciting to follow. And my guess is, for the most part, players 91 through 120 that have a chance to get relegated aren't going to be the big names. But when one falls into there, an older golfer, an older golfer falls into that group, who
It'd
knows?
be interesting. I'll look it up here in a second, who players 91 to 120 are right now.
Well, that's right. And I'll bet there'll be a handful of names.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. So
It's clear they want a league with the top elite guys.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's,
And you fight your way to get in it. So this, by the way,
which they've been doing. They have these, some of them have cuts, but no cut elite golfer events, small field events that they've been doing for the last year or so, 2 years. So this is just the next level to that.
Yeah, it really is. So we'll certainly talk about it. The big story, Lee Smith comes in a moment or two. Oh, by the way, Giannis did get traded.
He did.
That's story 9, I guess, for us today, but it's a gigantic story in the world of NBA. I was hoping it was Boston, just because I thought that would be a big story. I thought Giannis and Tatum together for one of the most heritage franchises in sports.
I think it still is unintentionally a big story for Boston because Jaylen Brown's name got dragged into it, and now it's like, well, you got to trade him now too.
Great
so they're
point.
like still part of the story.
Yeah, very good point, Jaylen. That's a very good point. What's the fallout of all the Jaylen Brown conversation? So,
and I know, and I'm an Orlando fan, so I'm programmed to not like anything Miami does. So I'll say that before I state my other opinion here. I don't really like it from the Miami side of things. They gave away 3 future first-round picks, including number 13 tonight, 4 of their best young players. They get Giannis, and that's great, and they kept Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
All right, who's going to shoot the ball?
Yeah, but and the teams in the sport better than I do, but it was the same concept. The Celtics were trying to pair Giannis and Tatum. And there's Derek White and a lot of good players. They were trying to pair Giannis and Tatum, see what you could do. Well, Bam Adebayo had the breakout year.
He did.
So they're trying to pair Adebayo and Giannis and say, what can we do? And their personnel better than I do.
I hear people talking about where they're going to bring in Chris Middleton and look for Klay Thompson.
Oh, my God.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
But
these guys are like 50 years old.
I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you.
But it's a fascinating story because it's one of the most dynamic players in the league in the last 15 years goes to another team. It's not LeBron going to another team, but it's the next level. Now it's the next level of that. So that's
and the big story too is you think of what Dallas got for Luka.
Yeah.
Milwaukee got a haul for Giannis.
Yeah.
It makes Dallas look, again, even worse for getting so little for Luka last year.
I couldn't even keep up with the picks and the trade spots and the.
I mean, Milwaukee got a lot.
Now it goes into the 30. It goes into 2030 and 31.
It does.
31 and 33.
Yeah, I mean, so it takes a while, but anyway, interesting. So a lot of things on the table today. A lot of things to get to. World news in the world of college athletics too. So we are loaded up. Glad you're with us on this Tuesday. Our Tuesdays are always brought to you by my friends at the Nimnick family of dealerships. My friend Billy Nimnick, Lee Nimnick, Lauren Nimnick Dozier. It's a wonderful family. They do a great job running those 2 fantastic car dealerships and always a sponsor of this show. We appreciate them a great deal. I promise you. A Nimnick Tuesday. Let's do it. We'll take a break. Lee Smith stops by in a moment to sort all this golf story out again. The biggest golf story I've seen in years. We'll talk about it after this. That's how we'll kick off the program on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The path to victory starts here.
Jacksonville on the move here. First drive of the game.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
What a win for Jacksonville!
Did you know that Kuhn Flowers showrooms are filled with gift ideas for the ones you love? This is Frank Frangie. Kuhn Flowers has been a staple here in Jacksonville for over 75 years. KuhnFlowers.com.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell and Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell and Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Throw your rifle and rod in the truck every Saturday morning.
This could be really special.
Go hunting and fishing with Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Walls on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show, Saturday mornings from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Everybody's loving the incredible free finance offer at Beard's Diamonds, but you better hurry. Time is running out. Hicken here. You have until 6 p.m. June 30th to get zero interest financing for 5 years. This extraordinary offer will not be extended. Don't wait. Beards has the engagement rings, the wedding bands, the earrings, the pendants, the bracelets, case after case of exquisite jewelry she wants. You can get the lowest price now and then spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Take a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet. Get Beard's value price, pay zero down, and pay $100 a month for 5 years. In a world of high interest rates, it's too good to be true. But it's happening now through June 30th at Beard's Diamonds. Beard's Diamonds, the only local jeweler at the town center, giving Jacksonville the selection, value, service, and quality you deserve. Big box chain stores can't even come close. So hurry in to take advantage of free financing. Shop local. Shop Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company is hiring for an estimator. Are you a motivated, customer-focused professional who enjoys working with people and doing things the right way? We want to hear from you. Send your resume to JCW Roof at jcwroof.com or call 904-396-1546. Family owned and operated since 1946. Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company, the first name in Jacksonville roofing.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Renovations are underway at the golf club at Southampton, but that doesn't mean you still can't come out and hone your game. The practice facility is open Tuesday through Sunday with a great membership offer to work on your game year-round. Log on to golfsouthampton.com or check out their Facebook page. Work on your tee game, iron play, shots around the green, and of course your putting. It's all there and a great way to stay fresh until they unveil fresh new greens in October. Check it all out at the golf club at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Time now for the tour update with Players Championship Executive Director Lee Smith.
Here it comes.
On 1010XL.
We sure appreciate Lee being here, and it is the big thing of the day. The big thing of the day is brought to you by Big Chief Tire. 6 locations around town and offering the Extra Mile program, a simple way to say thanks for trusting them with your car. That means $10 off every oil change, free tire rotations, free tire repairs, free air pressure. They do it all. They'll take care of you. The best in the business, my friends. At Big Chief Tire, you can find them at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. Lee Smith is here. Oh, boy. Big day. Big day in the world of golf.
You brought me in for the NBA draft,
yes,
right?
I
to
did.
talk
Exactly what I did.
Top 4 or 5 picks, who's going in what order.
And the honest trade.
Yeah,
all that,
yeah,
absolutely.
So, the Bucks got a haul for that.
Yes, they did. Did you know this was coming? Has this been? I know changes have been hinted, but I thought the detail in this one was more than I would have expected. For people that don't know, I teased it at the top of the program. The PGA Tour made a major announcement that starting in 2028, in 2 years, there will be sort of a relegation and promotion system with 2 different tours. I hope I said that right, but did you expect it?
Yeah, it's well, a couple things. I think one, probably to start, is I think sometimes we forget or maybe get blinded to the fact that, we have a professional sports league in our backyard.
Yeah.
And so when decisions are made at a league level, like in baseball with pitch clocks you guys talk of it all. You guys talk about college football playoff going to 24 teams all the time and additional games in the NFL. This is a transformational time at the PGA Tour, and going back to when Brian Rolap, our CEO, and congratulations to him today, was announced that he's going to be the next commissioner.
Right.
Once Jay completes his term at the end of this year. But one of his first press conferences last August was his formation of the Future Competitions Committee. And I remember one of his first addresses to us as the staff at the PGA Tour was, I want to create the ultimate model for our product, and I want to continue to innovate. And he used the quote that's an old adage, but he switched it up. He said, "If it ain't broke, fix it anyways."
Yeah.
And I think that was the opportunity to really work from a position of strength. And all the momentum that's in the game of golf, and that we see at the PGA Tour, from commercial partners to ratings to superstars to all of those types of things, to also take an ever-changing and as quickly changing as the sports landscape is, and to really future-proof the PGA Tour and set it up for the next couple of decades. And I think announcements of today certainly start that process. He announced the Future Competitions Committee in August. His press conference at the Players Championship outlined, what were kind of the North Stars, which was big markets and starting big and winning the summer and reimagining the playoffs and all those types of things. And I think now, 3 months later, his announcements today are continuing to move that ball forward and make significant progress with more details. But I think he made it clear today there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of details to come out, when he probably makes his next press conference at the Tour Championship in Atlanta in August.
120 players on the Championship Series to begin. There's also the Challenger Series. The top 90 in the Championship will remain at that level. The top 20 of the Challenger will move up the following season. The remaining 10 spots will be decided by different criteria. There's a lot of avenues to this, but I asked Frank this in the first segment. Lee, I'll ask you right now. Very simple question. I think it's a great idea, so I'm not by any means saying it's a negative light, but why now? Why in 2026, or I guess in 2028 ultimately? Golf has been what it has been for years and years and years. Why is now the right time to introduce something like this?
Yeah, it's a good question, Hack, and I think the easiest answer is this is really the voice of the fan, the voice of the partner, and maybe more importantly, the voice of the player that is coming through from listening to them, and this is what they want. The fans have said numerous times we want the superstars and the best players in the world to play together more often. Those particular partners have asked for venues. They've asked for bigger markets. They've asked for more drama. We want cuts to mean something. We want every shot to mean something. And so you see a more codified relegation and promotion process. And I think, Brian probably said it best. We when he formed the Future Competitions Committee, I mean, think about the names that have made significant impact or have their fingerprint on this. You've got players like Tiger Woods, Adam Scott, Maverick McNeely, Keith Mitchell, Camilo Villegas. I think I'm missing one that are on this Future Competitions Committee that have all. If you think about those names, they've been superstars. They've toiled at the lower levels, so they really represented a broad ecosystem. And then you also had John Henry and Theo Epstein. Think of the impacts that they've had on other sports in setting them up for the future. And so I think overall, this is the reason why now is again, goes back to the if it ain't broke, fix it anyways, is what better time, you don't fix your roof when it's raining. You fix your roof when it's sunny out. And I think this was a great opportunity for us to listen to the fans, listen to our broadcast partners, listen to our commercial partners, really all the stakeholders of the PGA Tour, and set us up for the future.
All right, Lee, I want you to explain better than I did what this is going to look like. Not next year, in 2028. A lot of the tour will look the same. A lot of the same events. There'll be Champion Series events, but there also will be weeks off. There'll be Challenger Series events, which will be going on some at the same time. Those will not be on network TV, except for when the major tour is taking the tour off, right? Take me through what it's going to, through a golf fan's eyes, what's it going to look like? How's it going to look different than it does now?
I think the easy way, and I could get long-winded here, I guess, but there's really 4 components to this.
Okay.
And the first component is the Championship Series, which will consist of 23 or 24 events. And if you break those down, that includes, call it about 15 regular season events, the Players' Championship, the 4 majors, the team event that would be that particular fall, the President's Cup or the Ryder Cup, and then playoff events, which, we haven't outlined exactly what those look like yet. But that adds up to the 23 or 24 events. 120 to 130 players playing in each of those. Cuts down to 65 and ties. So, each Friday there's going to be, shots of consequence, and people making a cut to get points and people not making a cut to not get points. And as you mentioned, 23 or 24 events that fit into, that late January, 1st of February start and late August finish, that allows for 6 or 7, depending on the calendar, weeks off, that will allow the top players to have weeks off throughout their season. Then the second component is the Challenger Series, which is 144 events, 144 players in their events, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 events on their series, which they would have elevated events during the weeks off of the Championship Series, and then they would play throughout the season to garner points. Point system, as laid out today, is every event on the Championship Series is a consistent point system from event to event. So instead of one event being worth more than others, those 23, 24 events throughout the season will be a consistent point system. So that goes to his original, word of simplicity, to figure out, hey, this is why this person has these points, this person has these points. And then the Challenger Series will fluctuate just a little bit based on the level of event, or it'll be, a higher point system on the week off. The third part is, the postseason. Now, all of a sudden, you get into those approximately 90 players that would retain their status for the following year. Then the players that wouldn't retain their status. the exciting part about introducing and reimagining, introducing match play into our postseason and reimagining the Tour Championship and using the playoffs to rotate around markets around the country, so everybody has the opportunity to, go and watch those particular events. All of those markets are yet to be determined as to what those would look like. But that'll be an exciting part of the postseason. And then the fourth component will be the fall. And the fall is where a set of international events, think national opens that a lot of our international players or even domestic players or American-born players want to go play in the Australian Open or those types of things will be a part of that. Plus the Last Chance series that'll be 4 or 6 events, which will be an exciting time for those in the relegation zone from the regular season, as well as those from the Challenger Series will be able to play against each other. You think about that, that'll be where now all of a sudden the Championship Series and the Challenger Series contestants will actually play together to formulate those last spots that will go for the Championship Series the next season.
And of the Championship Series, now of those 23 or 24 events, they're all going to have a $20 million purse or more, so they're good events. Even the Challenger Series will have a $4 million purse. So this is all professional golf. To make sure people understand what that is. You talked about the fall. That's sort of partnering with the DP World Tour, right?
Yes.
That's part of that.
Yeah, you got international events. You got Q School that'll still be in the fall
right.
to qualify for spots.
How do we land, because Brian Rolap has said this a bunch, you just did too, how do we see the tour land in big cities? Because obviously that's what he's trying to do that. And dumb question, but is there a great course in New York or Philadelphia that we're not using? Or
we have been doing a lot of due diligence throughout the PGA Tour into different markets, and it's not secrets of where we haven't played annual events over the last years. And he even mentioned, in the press release right now, 10 of the 15, call it regular season events, and then the Players Championship and the majors are pretty much solidified. And those final 5 regular season events could be markets like Seattle, Boston, Denver, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, those kind of markets that we currently don't play annual events. And I think, again, details are forthcoming because it is 2028. We've got certainly time to iron those out. But I think it's an exciting time to bring golf to a lot of those major markets that that appear. And I think what's great about this too is that there's been a significant amount of interest that has been inbound to the PGA Tour from markets, sponsors, and that's where you feel like you're really working from a position of strength and really have set up a great model for the future.
Just for the heck of it, I went and looked at numbers 90 through 120 on the rankings right now, which theoretically would be in the relegation zone in 2028. You got names like Chris Kirk, Lucas Glover, Tony Finau, Max Homa, Max McGreevy among them. And one of the really intriguing things to me, Lee, about this is that last chance. It's the last chance. If these 30 guys get in the relegation zone, they then have between 4 and 6 tournaments to work themselves out of that. That's going to be some pretty intense golf because no one wants to get relegated in this thing. You're going to have guys going out there, man, going nuts trying to get out of that relegation zone.
Absolutely. I think if you look at, the last 4 or 5 years and see some of those names that would be in those zones, should this have happened, years ago, that's what makes, I think, that Last Chance series to be so appealing, whether it be to markets or to fans, is that there are going to be names, whether they're players that just didn't have a good year, players that missed a month or for something, names that are just maybe up there in age but trying to play another year or two. Plus you've seen the emergence of superstars and college stars and all of those types of things that will certainly give players that last opportunity to qualify for the following season. It'll be a fun fall.
All right, I got a lot of. Are you in a hurry? You got
Not
time?
at all.
You're
Not at all.
not racing off to the emergency 9 somewhere, are you?
Not yet.
Okay,
Not yet.
good.
It stays light till 8:30.
Yes,
Frank.
it does. I got a lot more to ask you about this. If you don't mind sticking around, I think it's a big day in golf. We'll take a break. Lee Smith is with us talking about this monumental decision by the tour. That and more after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
The new MVP of lunch has arrived. Firehouse Subs Steak and Cheese Melt. USDA Choice Flame-Seared Steak, sauteed red and green bell peppers, caramelized onions, melted provolone cheese, and mayo on a toasted sub roll. Steak and Cheese Melt, only at Firehouse Subs.
Frank Frangie here. Truck buyers, listen up. Right now at Nimnick Chevrolet, you get 0% financing for 60 months on a new Chevy Silverado. 0% for 5 years. Rates haven't been this low in years. Plus, Nimnick Chevrolet's got the largest selection of Silverado trucks in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. Here's what's better. You know they're going to treat you right. I've been buying trucks there forever. I trust Nimnick. It's a great experience for me. It will be for you, too. The best rate, the best prices, the best service. Where? Well, that's easy. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
America's turning 250, and Superior Fireworks is ready for the biggest 4th of July in a generation. Beat the rush and save during their 4th of July early sale, now through June 30th. Shop early for the best prices, selection, and shopping experience before huge last-minute crowds arrive. Superior Fireworks, the locally owned fireworks superstore, right on Blanding Boulevard in Orange Park and at superiorfireworks.com/radio.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clear water irrigation
and drainage too.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years' experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjax.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate mascot and cultural ambassador.
Summer is a perfect time to have your garage floor coating installed. With our chemicals drying even faster in the warmer weather, it's a busy time for us, but we can still keep our prices surprisingly affordable.
And with 0% financing available, you can enjoy your floor now and pay for it later.
And Chester can enjoy his fancy British tea that I have to pay for.
I do enjoy a nice Darjeeling, Brendan, and the quality is important.
And at Checkmate, the highest quality is our minimum standard.
On flooring and tea.
Gorgeous garage floors?
Check. Perfect installation?
Check. Easy payment options that make your great new floor affordable? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We appreciate our friends from Nimnick, the best car dealership around. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cass at Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway. You can trust them. Service after the sale, not just before. I promise you that. Frank Frangie with Hacker and JJ LaSelva. Hayes Carline. has the week off. Lee Smith's going to stick around for us a little bit on what I think is a monumental day in professional golf. I got a bunch of questions. Is there a fear at all with this, Lee, that Ricky Fowler gets relegated and says, screw it, I'm not going to play. I'm not going to go play in this event with a bunch of these young guys. And I'm not picking on Ricky. A name we know. Is that a concern?
I don't want to speak for, let's say an individual player or because obviously it's somewhat new and somewhat fresh. I think where I can speak to is that, Brian delivered this information to a player meeting this morning before it went public.
Okay.
As well as the fact, just to harp on the fact that there are 6 players that were very instrumental in developing this series. Or 2 series and the new model and they all come from different backgrounds, superstars like Tiger that have won 15 majors and Camilo Villegas, who's competed at the highest level of the PGA Tour and has struggled significantly, and Maverick McNeely, who has been an unbelievable college player and is on the rise. Keith Mitchell, Adam Scott, who's done just about everything, has won majors, but has fought to keep his card from year to year. And I think they took really everything into play, and as well as listening to, like I said, fans and partners, and that's how the model was created. I think Brian said it today. Also, that there was no way to create an ultimate model that made everyone happy, but at the same time, taking as much of the voice of those partners into play when creating the model, as well as, again, reacting from a place of strength for the PGA Tour and setting it up. You remember the PGA Tour began in 1968. We've been fortunate to have a succession of very successful and growth-minded commissioners, and Brian's no different than that. He wants to. He's said it numerous times, and he said it, I think, a couple of times in his press conference today, is that we will honor tradition, but we won't be bound by it. And so the opportunity to innovate and continue to make changes that's for the best for the PGA Tour. I think that's where the model comes from.
It's also worth noting on the Challenger Series, if you win one of the majors, you get an automatic spot in the championship series the following year. I believe if you win multiple Challenger events as well, you get automatically elevated. So there are a lot of different nuances to this. It's a little different, but stay with me here. NASCAR is an example of a sport that changed a lot of what they did because they thought whether they were getting stale or what have you, they changed a lot of what they did. And some of the fans at first, it was complicated. It was confusing. And I think now ultimately people kind of like NASCAR and accept it for the changes. Is there a concern, and maybe that's why this doesn't start till 2028, that with the point system and with the 2 different leagues, is there a concern that it might be confusing at first for the casual golf fan, and it's going to take them a while to understand what actually is going on?
Yeah, I would. I would probably answer that a couple different ways. I think there certainly could be some initial confusion because it's a change and it's new. But if I started to ask, you or Frank is a big golf fan, how are the points done now in the FedEx system, and all of those types of things, and I'm in it every day, and there's no way I could explain it. I think the opportunity to create a consistent point system across the championship series, every tournament is worth the same amount of points. Wins are rewarded, top finishes are rewarded, making cuts are rewarded with points, I think is something that, over the next, call it year and a half, well, let's say over the next 6 months, because a lot of these details and like eligibility requirements and point systems need to be completed before the 27 season so that a player that enters the 27 season knows where he's at, what he's going for, and all those types of things. But I think once it gets delivered, I think that will ultimately provide really the simplicity that Brian started with. At the very beginning when he created the Future Competitions Committee, he used 3 words, and he said parity, simplicity, and scarcity. And parity is something that he comes from the NFL, which is, probably one of the sports that does it as well as anybody, and is probably right up there with golf when it comes to parity. Anybody can win each week. People can come out of the woodwork, new old superstars, 45-year-olds like Justin Rose, or 21-year-olds, 17-year-olds like Miles Russell can make the cut at the U.S. Open. I think parity is something that we've always been strong at. Scarcity, having 47 events on the PGA Tour in our current model, and the opportunity to create 2 series that present those events, I think provides scarcity at the very highest level. And then your question of creating a consistent point system that people can follow from week to week and understand quickly. If he wins this event, he adds so many points. I think he's accomplished a lot of those things with the new model.
Final thing or two, because I do want to ask you about the U.S. Open. Are there some events that are concerned they don't know which way they're going? I mean, wouldn't there be some events that are kind of on the fringe that might be a Champions Series, it might be a Challenger Series?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you if you look through the schedule, and I think the great thing about this is, to a lot of those events, there's been constant dialogue with all of the stakeholders at all of those events. And if you think about the stakeholders, you've got the staff, you've got the sponsor, you've got the TV partner, you've got the venue. There's just a lot of stakeholders that have been a part of this process and that have weighed in. But certainly there's going to be an event system, and now that it's tiered, there'll be events at the highest level, and there'll be events in the Challenger Series. So I think ultimately, again, I've worked for the PGA Tour for 22 years, and we've had some announcements here and there, but I think the exciting part of this is really setting ourselves up for the next couple of decades of having the strongest, not only golf tour in the world that we always have had, but making that product even stronger and continuing to try to expose to more fans, bigger fans, worldwide fans. I think that's the most exciting part.
It really does feel that way. A couple more minutes. Wyndham Clark's victory. What'd you make of the brutal Shinnecock on Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it last week. I commend the USGA. I think for taking a look at 22 years ago and 8 years ago, how that golf course performed, understanding the weather forecast and those types of things. That's something that the PGA Tour rules officials and competitions committee do year in, year out. And I think they made some changes to really lead into what was a fantastic weekend of an extremely hard venue. That golf course got firmer and firmer as the week went along. And with the heavy winds on Thursday and Friday, they could have lost it quickly. And I think they reacted appropriately. And as you know, we ended up with only 3 guys under par. And even though Wyndham, what did he shoot 3 over on the final day?
Something like that, yeah.
He obviously had done his work on Thursday and Friday and set himself up to be able to somewhat coast. Now it got a little interesting there at the end, but I think the golf course played extremely firm and fast on Saturday and Sunday, and the USGA should be commended for that.
I thought the biggest moment was the first putt on 18. I thought that was the moment. Of all the shots he hit and didn't hit, I mean, he's 60 feet, 50 feet, I don't know what it was, something like that. And he hit it to a tap in. I mean, I thought, didn't you think that? I thought that of all the shots, I thought, okay, I thought he was going to 3-putt. I was waiting for the 3-putt.
You certainly like to have a 4-inch putt to win the U.S. Open as opposed to something that's the length of your putter.
I thought he was. Did you watch it come down? I thought he was. I was convinced he was 3-putting.
Yeah, well, I mean, that putt on 16 was just absolute money,
and that gave him the cushion.
Yeah, gave him the cushion.
Yeah. So,
and we talked briefly about this yesterday, and I know golf purists didn't like it. I'm just curious your thought. The crowd up there, with the Wyndham Clark situation, obviously there was some folks getting on to him a little bit. I actually thought for the TV broadcast it added a little something to it, and Wyndham Clark was very gracious after the fact. Do you like to see that, or is that something that maybe we could have done without?
I bounce around both sides of this, Hack. I don't necessarily mind it because I think it's sports fanaticism, and I think the only issue that I have in any sport is rooting against somebody as opposed to rooting for somebody. And in a perfect world, even when you walk into a stadium and there's only two sides, I'd much rather root for my team than root against the other team. And I think when you have a field of 120, 130, 140 players like that, there's plenty of people to root for, like Scotty and others, as opposed to, root for Wyndham to hit it in a bunker or for him to miss a short putt. But at the same time, I think having, big time and exciting fans, unfortunately, both of the things that have happened in golf that way have all been in New York, so they're getting a little bit of a bad rap up there with from a fandom standpoint that they've probably earned in other sports. Yeah. But now they're earning it in golf. I just don't think we would want that every week. Mm-hmm. But I don't mind it as long as it doesn't get out of hand.
I thought some of those guys were hideous, and I'm glad they threw them out. I thought, shut up, get out of here. I mean, if you to your point about it, great work as always. I did get, when we were talking during the break about length, how far people hit it. I did get a chuckle. It still amazes me that I think it was Sam Burns on one of the late holes, and I guess it was kids that said he's 200 yards, just a smooth 9-iron. It's still to me. I mean. Here I'm hitting a 9-iron about 110 yards. Here's the guy who goes, it's just a smooth 9. He just has to swing easy, a smooth 9-iron, 200 yards. I'm still amazed, as much as golf as I've watched in my life. It just amazes me.
Yeah. Did you see it was a funny moment? Did you see, I think it was a practice. Yeah, it must have been a practice round that Gary Woodland, I think, was playing with maybe Siwoo Kim, maybe Scotty and Sam Burns. But Gary Woodland hit a drive that traveled 375 yards and took a hill. And he gets to his ball and he gets his phone out and he calls Scotty Scheffler because he's 60 yards by him. And he places a phone call and kind of says, "Where are you guys at?"
That's hilarious.
And he's looking back at him. I thought that was a really cool moment.
That is funny, and no question about it. All right. Hey, great work as always. I think it's an exciting day for golf and a very monumental day. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back in a moment on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
New conversations, new perspective.
Now Fridays feature The Lead with Hayes Carline and Ryan O'Halloran.
4 to 6 on 1010XL.
Picken here. See clearly with the Eye Associates and trusted optometrists Zachary Boskool and Alice LaFlamme. From comprehensive eye exams, dry eye care, glaucoma management, diabetic eye care, and more, Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme are dedicated to protecting your vision. Immediate availability at all 5 Jacksonville locations. Schedule today with Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme by calling the Eye Associates, formerly Bow9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD at 296-0098.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
If you've got to have more Gators, get them anytime with the Gator Podcast Channel. Served up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you're ready, the Gator Podcast Channel is too. On the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Did you know that Kuhn Flowers showrooms are filled with gift ideas for the ones you love? Hi, flying Jack O'Brien here. Kuhn Flowers has been a staple here in Jacksonville for over 75 years. KuhnFlowers.com.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
Instant Key. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Key.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Hacker here, and I've had a lot of conversations with buddies of mine in recent weeks and months about, this weight loss deal or this shot they're taking or this pill that suppresses their appetite. And I stop and think, man, I was lucky to find Awaken 180 weight loss. No shots, no appetite suppressants, no pills that they give you and say, all right, we'll talk to you in 2 months. You get real coaching. You get real knowledge. You get a real plan to lose real weight. And more importantly, keep that weight off. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the best program I've ever been on. I lost over 100 pounds. It gave me my life back. If it's time for you to get your life back, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. No shots, no medication, just knowledge. And as we all know, guys, knowledge is power. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Bye. We do thank our friends from the Nimnick family dealerships. Nimnick Chevrolet's on Cass at Nimnick Buick GMC, located on Phillips Highway. We got lots of things to get to the next hour, but let's unpack a little bit of what Lee said. Lee does such a good job explaining it. I'm not trying to be a company guy. I'm a fan of the tour, and Lee's a buddy, and all the players, folks have been great friends over the years, and I love what they do, and I'm proud that the tour is based here. But I'm not saying it for that reason. I do think it's going to add a lot of excitement. I really do. I do wonder about the tournaments that are on a tournament somewhere that was the John Deere Open or whatever that's suddenly going to be a challenge. They're suddenly not going to have good players anymore,
right,
or name players anymore. And again, I'm a big golf fan, so that's my bias here. But I still think I can't wait to see it happen.
I think it's a nice change. And again, I'm all about the majors and the players, and obviously I'm locked in for those. I'm probably what you consider to be a casual golf fan when it's the John Deere Open or any of these other golf events, the Travelers, which I believe is coming up. But if there's relegation on the line, I've always thought American sports could take a playbook from the Champions League in Europe. The whole relegation promotion thing, I think, is fascinating.
I do too.
And this will probably be the first time an American sport, or a sport we consider to be American, golf, has done something like this. And it'll be interesting to see if it works, if other sports in this country maybe follow suit a little bit.
Yeah, it will be. And I don't know that I expect all of a sudden other sports to have relegation. But it's an interesting thought. It really is. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the world of sports. I got a lot of things we're going to get to in the next hour. Let me start with Brendan Sorsby. The NFL decided not to have a supplemental draft. To your point earlier, they were very hard-hitting in their letter to him. Now, they did encourage him to prepare and get ready for the 2027 draft. But he's ineligible for college football, so he can't play. He's now not able, so he can't play pro football. He can't play football in the NCAA or in NFL. He could play in some private league, I suppose. And they said, again, you made the point that they really handed it to him. I think the sentence you were talking about is when they said, quote, you sought to avoid consequences through litigation rather than accepting responsibility for your actions. That was a powerful sentence from the NFL to Sorsby. What did you make of the whole story?
Yeah, I mean, I think they made their case very clear that they understand why he was leaving college football. They did not like what he was being accused of doing. I mean, they could have had a supplemental draft. Their logic and what they said to him was, we haven't had a supplemental draft in a couple of years. It's our discretion to have a supplemental draft. He was literally the only player that petitioned to be in the supplemental draft, and he did it with 72 hours to spare. They did not like the reasons that he wanted to be in the supplemental draft, thus they're not having it. Now, this would be a conversation for Brett Hastings in Sports and Courts or somebody along those lines. Is there any legal action that Sorsby can take? Because they are preventing him, now they being the NFL, I mean, it would be his employer, but they are preventing him now from making a living or a livelihood because his agent has already said that he had upwards of 25 teams that had made contact that were interested in his services. Now that's not the case. He's only going to be able to enter the 27 draft. I would be very surprised if a draft pick is used on him. I mean, if you're the UFL or whatever, the spring league, I mean, that's a no-brainer to bring in Brennan Sorsby next March and have him as the centerpiece of your league. It's not. If I was the UFL, I'd be on the phone with him right now, signing with somebody and promoting it for the next 8 months that Brennan Sorsby's coming to this league.
Well, do they take him?
A league like that, I think absolutely would.
I don't know.
You'd be
now
crazy not to.
Yeah,
if you're like one of these spring leagues that no one watches.
Or the CFL.
I mean,
hang on.
insane.
Let me get to the CFL. The UFL is supposedly they're now almost partners with the NFL.
Okay,
the
that's fair.
The NFL is demoting the officials that struggle are now going to get demoted to the UFL. The UFL is more of a developmental league for the NFL than ever. Would the NFL say, "Look, we don't want you to do that," because you went where I went? What about the CFL?
CFL, yeah.
So, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. And by the way, of course, there'll be a lawsuit. Jeffrey Kessler, his attorney's already said he's reaching out to the NFLPA. I don't know that he's not a member of the NFLPA, so I don't know how that factors. But yeah, there'll be a lawsuit after this. I'll be interested to see where it goes. This one surprised me. I did not think he was going to wind up as a college player. I said that all along. But I did think they would create a supplemental draft for him and that he would wind up on an NFL. This one surprised me. I did not expect this. I don't know that I talked to anybody that expected the NFL to do this. This is the NFL. And the sources, you read the ESPN story. Apart from what the NFL said officially, the sources said, according to whoever wrote the story, that the NFL really didn't want the distraction of wherever he landed.
Mm-hmm.
That wherever he landed, there would be gigantic distractions in the league and camp, and it's one of the things the NFL wanted to avoid. And this was an easy way for the NFL to make a strong statement about gambling without hurting their brand. It's not, if you have an existing player who's a really good player and you find out he's gambled, you suspend him, but you're hurting your brand because you got a really good player that people want to see that they can't see anymore. Well, this wasn't that. Nobody even knows this guy's any good, right? So you didn't hurt your brand. You made a decision. You made a strong statement about accountability without hurting your brand. I thought that was a big part of it.
I mean, we're in rarefied air here. And again, maybe you would know this. Has there ever been a player that has been told, well, you can't play college football, and now he's been told within another 10 days, well, you can't play in the National Football League.
Yeah.
So what's Brennan Sorsby?
Claret, probably.
But Claret eventually made it to the league.
Well,
he will
Sorsby's
too.
eventually going to make it to the league.
Yeah, he will too. That's a good comparison.
You think somebody will draft him in the 27 draft?
Yes.
Well, I think by the time he's been suspended for a year and tells his story and tells the story about how he did have a sickness, he had an addiction, and he dealt with the addiction, and he got healthy. And I mean, he's going to go to at some point. He hasn't talked yet. At some point, he's going to tell the story.
Yeah.
And I think and if he's smart, he will tell the story in such a way that I am accountable. I realize what I did. I'm getting help. I think I've gotten help. I think I'm cured. It's a daily. You're never totally cured, but I think I'm there. And now I want another chance. Once that happens, then that becomes part of his past, and then you just evaluate him on what he is. Now,
and even if he doesn't get drafted, somebody can just pick him up as an undrafted
Next
free
year.
agent.
Yeah.
And you're talking about him not playing football for basically, 2 years?
Yeah, but
There's so many guys that get picked up as undrafted free agents that are terrible
Yeah, there's
players.
no. Well, I don't think there's any debate he's going to be on a team next year. But the question is, once he gets through this process, once this process is over, then he's just treated about how good are you, the conversation we had yesterday, Hack. Teams are so desperate for good quarterbacks. It's so damned hard to find them that then you do take through. Look, I said it yesterday. If there's a supplemental draft, I think somebody would have taken him.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't changed my mind on that.
Yeah, the NFL isn't having the supplemental draft because they know people will take him.
I think I still think somebody would have taken him in the third, fourth round. My mind hasn't changed on that. I still think somebody would have taken him, but so I still think what he needs to do is listen. He's not playing. He's not going to win the lawsuit. He can sue till the cows come. He's not winning this one.
Do you think he tries to go back to college?
No, because I don't think he's winning that lawsuit. The same thing I thought 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, he already was only eligible after a 2-game suspension. He took himself out of college. It's not like he got kicked out or anything.
I think he is
before he left college, he was officially being suspended for 2 games,
correct.
and that was it.
I think he was such a villain. That's why Texas Tech backed down. That's why he had to back down. I think I'll say what I've said all along. He
also thought he could get to the NFL this whole time.
That's right.
So,
So I hear you. That could change his thinking. But my opinion, what he should do is still what I think he will do. And again, I thought he'd be on an NFL team. You have a chance now to resuscitate all of it. Okay, you have a chance now. You're probably not. The NFL said you're not playing on our league. I think the NCAA is going to keep him from playing their league. Tell your story. Get in the best shape of your life. Go get in the best shape of your life. Get yourself well. Tell the story of how I am accountable. This is what I did. I own it. I admit to it. I want to play NFL football. I'm not this heinous, terrible person that I've been portrayed as. Give me a chance. I'm going to sit out the year. That's what both sanctioning bodies have told me to do. And then give me a chance to participate in next year's draft or to be on a team next year. That's what he should do, and I think that's how it's going to end.
Let me ask you this. It's a no-brainer to me the CFL is going to reach out. If you're Brendan Sorsby's camp, do you say thanks but no thanks?
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to know. It's a great question. I'm not smart enough to know how playing, because the rules are so different. How playing in the NFL, how playing in the CFL, and I don't know how good he is. So if he's not as good as he thinks, and he's lousy in that league with a bunch of different rules.
He throws 10 touchdowns and 15 picks.
That could hurt. That could hurt him. For the Argos. So that could hurt him. So I think. So my guess is I would sit out. I would say, listen, I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I'm going to get healthy. He's got money. Texas Tech already said the couple million they've already given him, he gets to keep.
He got $5 million NIL.
Did he get that much?
Yeah, that's what I read. Yeah.
So I know he was getting that. I think, but
he might not get all the NIL, but that money that's part of whatever.
Yeah, he's collected.
Fund
I think he's collected a couple million already. I think they said. So the bottom line is, you got money. If you believe you're good, you got to sit out. You got nothing. There's nothing you can do now. Sit out, get healthy, sit out, and participate in and be a good. And I would hold the press conference and I would say, this is on me. I've learned. I had a sickness. I've dealt with it. I've gone through significant rehab. I am ready. Please give me a second chance. That's what I would do if I was him, and that's what I think. Ultimately, he's still going to try and sue. The lawyer's going to try and sue, but I don't think he's winning anything. I think it's where it lands.
No, I agree. I don't think he's going to win something. But you said something earlier that he probably would have gotten drafted, and that's why the NFL is not having the supplemental draft. Yeah. If that can be proven somehow, there's got to be some legalities there.
Well, I mean, sources have already said that he said, handful of teams. Look, common sense said, JJ said that's why they didn't have the draft. I didn't say that. It made some sense, though, but that was JJ's point. But I think this was a chance for the NFL to avoid the distraction, to make a loud statement without hurting their brand.
Yeah, it's a way for them to suspend him without officially suspending him.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's like they're not setting a precedent for future guys who may have gambled coming out of college. So they're like, hey, we didn't actually suspend him. We just didn't have the draft, and he never was eligible for the other draft.
But this is not like Malik Willis, who's becoming a good player. He's a starter in Miami. He's coming into his own. Now you got to suspend him. Well, you're hurting your brand because you're hurting the Miami Dolphins, right? And I'm just using him as an example. It could have been anybody. But now you don't have to hurt your brand. So I think sitting out, getting healthy, telling your story, Give me a second chance, and I think a lot of people will give him a second chance. We'll take a break. Hour 2's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
I lied a big secret. People are smart. They can handle it.
Because you did not use the magic word.
What is the magic word?
1010XL, where sports magic happens.
Please.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Frank Frangie here, and Big Chief Tire makes it easier than ever to get the tires you need with the Big Chief credit card. No annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, and right now, $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and get the tires you need today. That's Big Chief Tire.
If you want more teal in your daily diet, Jaguars Today with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Exclusive guests, sharp analysis, and nonstop Duval football. Served by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey man, what's Hard Rock Bet giving you players?
If you win your first $5 bet, you get $150 in bonus bets.
$750? ¿Cuánto? Oh, was that Ronaldinho? Sounds like his first bet scored.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This feeling is brought to you by Aleve for back pain relief. What feeling is that, you ask? Well, it's the feeling you feel when you have relief from back pain. That move how you want to, not how you have to feeling. That keep going through your day without slowing down feeling. The kind that brings you back to yourself all day long without interruption. Oh, yeah. Because Aleve offers long-lasting pain relief. Feel up to 12 hours of back pain relief with one dose. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Hi, this is Randy Goodwin with PRI Productions. We're proud to partner with Dreams Come True, a Jacksonville nonprofit that grants the dreams of children that are facing life-threatening illnesses. Join us for Dream Day on Saturday, June 27th from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at PRI Productions, located at 1819 Kings Avenue in San Marco. Come cheer on 35 incredible children and help make their day unforgettable. It's all free. You just need to be there Saturday, June 27th, Dream Day. Hope to see you there.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, Underwoods has sold fine quality diamonds for a long time. Why is that important?
Frank, if you drew a line with the poorest diamonds with the lowest prices to the left and the highest quality to the right, our diamonds are at the far right end. Now, once we know the weight, the grading factors of cut, color, and clarity have to be considered. And the one that's talked about the least, but it's the most important to us, is the diamond's cut grade, because it has a huge implication on both the price and the beauty, and thus the value. I've bought diamonds for Underwoods for over 30 years, so I know what's out there. And the cut grade's just not important to most diamond sellers. That's really been the Underwood difference, because beautifully cut diamonds result in the most important thing they can do. They bring a joy of owning and wearing a diamond, not just today, but tomorrow and into the future. That's why it's important to us.
And it should be to you too, because nothing brings more joy than a diamond from Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra since 1928.
I'm Jared Justice with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Awaken 180. The NCAA's new age-based 5-year eligibility rule could affect Denzel Aberdeen's ability to play his final year with the Gators due to his completing of his senior year in the spring. In Florida Gators baseball news, both Aiden King and Brendan Lawson announced that they would be returning for the 2027 season. Remember to keep it locked on 1010XL for World Cup updates all day. It's 90 degrees at 5 o'clock, time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on the Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
But my car's there since 1982. They're about 41 years old when I started. I've been doing it ever since. You can really trust my friends at Nimnick. I'm proud to be a spokesman for Nimnick Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnick Buick GMC, located on Phillips Highway. Let's get to the NBA stuff for a little. We touched on it at the top. Giannis for starters. Giannis to the Heat. You don't love the deal. You don't think that they're pairing Bam Adebayo with Giannis, and thinking that's going to get them over the top. Pat Riley in the past has been very good at going and finding him. He went and got LeBron. I mean, so you don't like it for the Heat?
No, I don't love it for the Heat. Look, I mean, is it make them better than they were? Well, yes, but I think that's relative. Is Giannis and Bam and whatever they can put around them in Miami going to be better than the New York Knicks? Are going to be better than the Boston Celtics? Are going to be better than the Detroit Pistons?
Are they going to be better than they would have been if they didn't do the deal? That's the bigger question.
Yeah, well, yes, but I think, I disagree with that because they gave up their future. They gave up 4 young players, with Tyler Hero and 3 young players, 3 future first-round picks. I mean, they gave up 7 commodities to get a 31-year-old player that's starting to have injury problems. And they don't have any guard play. I mean, they're going to surround Giannis and Bam. Great combo. But when you have Davion Mitchell as one of your guards and maybe Andrew Wiggins, they're going to lose Norman Powell because now they're paying Giannis $1 billion to be there. I just think on paper it looks great and it looks marvelous to get Giannis. Man, they gave up a ton to do it.
JJ, I want you to weigh in because you guys both know the league better than I do, but I'll go first from a position of not knowing it well. I love the deal because I think it made him relevant. To a guy like me that doesn't follow it very closely.
You're talking about the Heat?
Yeah. I think the Heat became relevant. I think I'm going to pay attention to them now. I'm going to pay attention. And I don't know how they draw. Will they draw better? Will they not? But I think, I don't know enough to know. I know who Tyler Hero is, but some of the other guys, I don't know if that future was ever going to come home to roost, in my opinion. What I do know now is they're a team that we're going to all pay attention to. So I like the deal. JJ, good or bad?
I think both teams are not that far off from where they were before. So I think the Heat are going to be better. I think Tyler Hero might get traded by Milwaukee on it. If I'm Milwaukee, to me, it just looks like they're looking strictly towards the future. I don't think any of those guys that they got back from the Heat are going to be game changers at all. I think they're going to miss the playoffs next year with that team. And so Miami, Bam is a great player, but he's not a number 1. Now they have a number 1. It sounds crazy because he scored 80 points in a game.
But he's not a number 1.
Yeah, exactly. Not in the playoff series.
That's a good point, yeah.
But you need a lot around those guys. And like Hack's been saying, Giannis is not the same player that won the NBA title 4 or 5 years. He's not even close. He's always hurt. He's never got that jump shot that we always expected him to, sort of learn. And Bam is sort of a player that plays in the same position as him, sort of. So I think it's clunky. It's going to be weird. But to me, I would say I guess the Heat won. But 31 and 33 unprotected first-round picks, that's a long ways away. But that could be something big when that happens. You have no idea how bad the Heat or whoever is going to be at that point. So it could be like a top 5 pick or something.
Quick change gears here. The draft tonight. It's a very talked about draft. Are there great players in it? DeBonce is a great player, probably. Darren Peterson, if he can stay on the floor, I guess is a great player. Are there great players in the draft?
Yeah, people love Boozer from Duke. They think he might be. I heard a Kevin Love comparison, maybe a better version of Kevin Love. We saw
which is good player, not great player.
Yeah. We saw Darius Acuff at Arkansas. That guy was a stud, in the 1 year he was there. He's projected to go in the lottery. Ament from Tennessee. There's a lot of names that are going to be drafted.
Well, I saw they're all freshmen.
Well, and it's always young guys. But have you noticed it's not – remember, was it 10 years ago, 15 years ago that every player was a foreign player that you didn't know? Well, now that the foreign players are playing college basketball over here, you know them, and there's not as many of them.
Yeah, and look, the reason – I think in large part, the reason that Thomas Houck is not being drafted tonight is it's a really good draft. I mean, normally Thomas Houck would be a top 10 pick. He wasn't projected to be a top 10 pick in this draft because of how good it is. There are some NBA drafts that are just quite frankly bad. This is one, I don't know if this is going to be 2003, where you had LeBron and Bosh and Wade. I'm not saying that, and Carmelo. But I do think this is one of the better NBA draft classes that we've seen in probably the last 2 decades.
That's the talk. The talk is that it's a very deep class and in a good first round.
And let me ask you this. Jaylen Brown, because we might get some clarity on that tonight before the draft. Jaylen Brown was offered to Milwaukee for Giannis. Yeah. Milwaukee took Miami's deal. Can Jaylen Brown play for the Boston Celtics again?
That was JJ's point at the top of the program, and it's a good one. Yes, he can, because everybody making those many millions forgets and moves on, so they'll forget and move on. But it's naive to suggest it's not an issue, because it clearly is.
And
an
it's
issue.
the second time they've offered him in a trade.
And remember now, Jaylen also
he's been talked about for years.
The Kevin Durant deal in 2022, they offered Jaylen Brown.
Now Jaylen also has contributed to this, but when the season ended, when it ended poorly, he talked about what a great year it was for him.
He said it was his favorite season.
Yeah.
They just won the NBA title.
Right. So he kind of contributed to this too a little bit, but people move on and forgive and forget. I mean, I don't think they trade him now because he's a really good player.
Great
He's a 5-time All-Star. Where are you going to get a player who you trading for him now?
He's the Finals MVP.
Yeah, he's a really good player. So and he really is. He's 6'6". He's today's NBA player. So I mean, that's what today's NBA player is.
I do think there's probably some hurt feelings.
Oh, no question. But people, you know what? Tons of millions.
Well, yeah,
help you get over
it pretty quick.
Yeah,
and when you don't have a choice.
And that too. My guess is Tatum and Derek White and everybody gets everybody together and they sing Kumbaya and they go bowling and they have a wonderful.
Yeah, I don't even think Jaylen Brown has an. You know, I don't think him and Tatum have an adversarial relationship. I just think Jaylen Brown thinks I'm the guy.
Right.
You know, I should be the guy. Why is Tatum the guy? I'm the Finals MVP. I just led this team to a great record and a playoff berth without Jason Tatum.
Right.
So I don't think that they don't get along.
Yeah.
But I think that he thinks he's better than he is.
We'll see what happens. We'll take a break. More in a moment. Let's talk some college sports after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer update. It is halftime in Boston, and England are struggling to break through against Ghana, currently scoreless in Group L. The Three Lions with 80% of the ball in the first 45, but without a shot on target to show for it. Earlier today, the action began with Ronaldo's redemption in Group K. Portugal routing Uzbekistan 5-0, a major bounce-back performance for Portugal after a disappointing draw against DR Congo, and a huge bounce-back for Cristiano Ronaldo, who was a non-factor in that opener, and the pressure was on after another day of incredible performances yesterday from Messi, Mbappe, and Haaland, but the 41-year-old stepped up with the 6-minute finish, making him the first player in tournament history to score a goal at 6 different World Cups. Ronaldo added another in the 39th minute. Portugal at the top of Group K. I'm Lucas Panzica, Westwood One Sports.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. E.T. here, and it's bigger game days and UFC fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that's always coming through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late at night? Only at Twin Peaks, your #1 sports bar.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell & Harrell. After an accident, everything can feel chaotic and stressful. You're dealing with insurance calls, medical appointments, car repairs, and for most people, it's stressful and unfamiliar territory. That's where Harrell & Harrell comes in. Their team knows how overwhelming this time can be, and they guide you through every step of the process so you're never left wondering what comes next. If you've been injured and need someone in your corner, call Harrell & Harrell at 251-1111.
You don't think this would be a good moment to text somebody?
There's never a bad moment to share your opinion on the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Share your opinion
As soon as possible.
at 641-1010.
Everyone's loving the incredible free finance offer at Beard's Diamonds, but you have to hurry. Time is running out. You have until 6 p.m. on June 30th to get zero interest financing for 5 whole years. This extraordinary offer will not be extended, so don't wait. Beard's has the engagement rings, the wedding bands, the earrings, pendants, bracelets, case after case of exquisite jewelry she wants. You can get the lowest price now and then spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Take a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, get Beard's value price, pay zero down, and pay just $100 a month for 5 years. In a world of high interest rates, this is almost too good to be true. But it's happening now through June 30th at Beard's Diamonds. Beard's Diamonds, the only local jeweler at the town center, giving Jacksonville the selection, value, service, and quality you deserve. The big box chain stores can't even come close. So hurry in to take advantage of free financing. Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. On approved credit, see store for details.
Hey guys, Hickett here. The 4th of July just around the corner. I don't know about you. I don't want my family and friends running around on filthy carpet. Guess what? Flash sale time, baby. Call and book Zero Res this week. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $135, and you get a hallway for free. Flash sale, that's right. Get 3 rooms for $135 plus a free hallway. So this week only, visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them 1010XL sent you for the flash sale.
Zero Res. Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Happy Father's Day to all you fathers.
Absolutely. Happy Father's Day. Well, thanks, guys.
Wow, I wonder how many fathers out there would love a new outdoor kitchen under their new pavilion or screen enclosure from Lifetime Enclosures.
I bet most would. Imagine having the entire family over and cooking a barbecue feast for everyone, protected from the elements.
I'd like to cook for Dad. Jacob, do you think you could? I think so, Pan.
I bet both you guys could.
Visit Lifetime Enclosures website or visit our showrooms today to experience the Lifetime difference and ask about our Father's Day specials.
Lifetime Enclosures.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Song of the year in the 70s.
Is that right?
What a Fool Believes. Did you know that?
Honestly,
do you know
I did not know that.
Do you know sings this?
I don't.
Okay, you don't have to. I'm just asking. I don't judge you anymore. I don't do that.
Like back in the day, I would throw out a guess, and I would get even more embarrassed when I was just really wrong.
This would be the Doobie Brothers.
Sure, it would be.
It would be the Doobie Brothers with Michael McDonald. And so there you go. Okay, so there's that.
Unfortunately, it's just the music.
Yeah, that's right.
Hopefully, if you heard the guy singing, you would know who it is.
Yeah. Michael, you've never.
He's a very distinct sounding guy.
Yeah. Is that the guy that was in the 40-Year-Old Virgin thing in the store that kept playing on?
See,
Paul Rudd said I have to keep listening to this guy.
You. There you go.
Yeah.
Did you watch the College World Series last night?
I watched bits and pieces. I know North Carolina was right there. I mean, you thought they were going to win it after Game 1, but boy, Oklahoma, what a story.
Did you watch JJ at all? You turn on?
No, I didn't actually. I the only reason I knew it was still going on, which I was shocked by, was because the Braves played at 10 on ESPN, and I flipped over and it was still going on, and I'm like, the College World Series is still happening?
It kept saying Braves.
It's like 3 weeks.
Braves, Padres, 10:05, and then
we didn't score a run, by the way. Stayed up till almost 1 a.m. to see that. Yeah.
Well, the Pirates were off last night. So anyway,
we're in trouble, by the way.
But here, you're not in trouble.
We're in trouble.
Okay, so
I'm just telling you, the Braves are not winning the East.
The Phillies are good, but I hear you. So I'm watching, but think about this. So I'm a big college baseball fan. The Gators go to Norman, Oklahoma. Okay, you play everybody, but they played them on the road this year. 3-game series. Oklahoma wins the first one, 4-3. Really good game, well-pitched game. Florida beats the dog out of them the next two, 10-5. Beat them 13-2 and run ruled them on Sunday. Fast forward 2 months later, Oklahoma wins 13-2, wins the national championship. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean that's how Oklahoma. I thought. By the way, it's the 7th year in a row the SEC's won the College World Series. You realize that?
Yeah.
7 years in a row, the same conference has won the College World Series. Think about that for a second. And I think it's 6 different teams. I think LSU's twice, and Florida's not in there because Florida's was the year before that, 2 years before that. So it would be 7 different teams in the last 10 years that have won 7 different teams. So
that's impressive.
7. It's
like
pretty
it's one thing to win all those, like in football, but it was really like
Alabama,
just Bama,
right,
and Georgia and LSU won one.
Yeah. This is 7. It's amazing how, but it's funny how the baseball how it changes. How I thought watching, and I watch it closely. I thought Oklahoma, and I watched a lot of the series because they're on SEC Network. I thought Oklahoma this year was about the 8th best team in the league. I thought watching it as closely as I watch it, I thought Oklahoma was about the 8th best team in the league.
Is it just a matter they got hot at the right time?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now obviously they were good.
Did they host a super?
They host not a super. They hosted a regional.
So they weren't even good enough to be that.
No, they weren't. No, they didn't host a super. They I think they won Georgia Tech super. They won the super in Georgia, but they were. I thought it was Georgia was really good. I thought Georgia might have the best team in the country, but I thought Georgia, Auburn, Texas, Florida, Ole Miss were all better than Oklahoma. Oklahoma wins the national championship. Go figure, right?
All right, it's crazy. And now, look, you're a much more college baseball guy than I am, so let me ask you. Well, that's a long College World Series.
Yeah.
I know the whole double elimination,
right.
But I remember, like, McAfee doing a show in West Virginia, kicked it off.
Yeah.
It was like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
and it ends last night. Do they need to do something about that?
No, I like it. I like it because remember that's the end of the college sports season. The last game of the college sports season was last night. That ends. That's it. Now there's nothing now again until there's a football game the week before Labor Day.
Wow.
There's nothing now.
Here's why I have an issue with it though, because the crowd last night, from what I saw, was just empty seats galore.
Yeah,
it's like you can't expect a fan to go for 2 weeks.
There's some truth to that.
To Omaha, Nebraska.
There's some truth to that, but I like the way they do it. It's about 10 days, and I like.
You don't want to have a single elimination.
Yeah, you gotta have
baseball.
two. You have to have two. You always have to be able to be lost to get beat twice, or have a 2 out of 3.
Remember, conference tournament used to be double elimination until they changed that.
Yeah, but I really love college baseball. I love the way it's become too many home runs now. But I think they've gotten it right. But it ends the college sports season. Now college sports is over. College sports now is over till whenever. But but I love baseball.
Yeah.
And I love college baseball. And I'll be very interested to see what happens. Everybody's loading up on portal guys now. It's hard for a high school player to ever have a chance to play at a major school now. You can eventually, but unless you're super elite, it's going to be hard.
Well, what do you think about the MLB's new proposal where high school players will not be drafted?
Did you see this? Part of Rob Manfred's the first proposals, they try and get a new collective bargaining agreement. Part of it is shortening the draft, and you no longer can take high school players. I don't think that works. I don't think it goes through.
I would hate that.
Yeah, I would too.
It would change everything.
Yeah, it wouldn't be better for baseball.
No,
it wouldn't be better.
Was that the MLB's proposal or the players' proposal?
No, that was the MLB's.
Okay.
That was Manfred's.
Okay.
Now, I do think shortening the draft. The draft used to be 45 rounds.
Yeah.
Then they shortened it to 20. 20's too many. 20's too many rounds. So I think that part's going to go through. But I don't think the part about the high school players will. I want to take a break. When we come back, I want you to tell me about the newest rule in college, the age limit thing. You've kind of read more on that than I have today. Let's take a break, and then you kind of cover that with us after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your backyard with Superior Fence and Rail. Get the fence you've been wanting with 12 months financing and no interest, so you can enjoy more privacy, more security, and more curb appeal without the upfront stress. Make your outdoor space ready for summer. You must have credit approval from our third-party financial institution. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
America's turning 250, and Superior Fireworks is ready for the biggest 4th of July in a generation. Beat the rush and save during their 4th of July early sale, now through June 30th. Shop early for the best prices, selection, and shopping experience before huge last-minute crowds arrive. Superior Fireworks, the locally owned fireworks superstore, right on Blanding Boulevard in Orange Park and at superiorfireworks.com/radio.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago, went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
What band was Peter Frampton in before he went solo? The answer coming up.
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowner's policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The name of Peter Frampton's first band was called Humble Pie.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Mike Dempsey here. DraftKings Sports is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Florida. The whole world is watching one tournament right now. Group stage chaos, knockout drama, stoppage time heartbreak. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in Florida. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers, sign up with code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards. That's code 1010XL. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends June 28th. Terms DKNG.co/predictions promo.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
The golden moment today was our friend Lee Smith came by for 2 segments to talk all about the big news from the PGA Tour, the announcement that there will be relegation. There will be 2 series starting in 2028, a championship series, a challenger series. The championship series is the good one, where all the purses will be $20 million or more, 23 or 24 events. The challenger series will have some 20 events with purses of $4 million or more. So obviously a big news in the world of golf, and our friend Lee Smith kind enough to come by and talk all about it today on the program that was the golden moment. There's been a change hack in or a recommendation that's going to affect college athletics. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so basically, and a lot of people are wondering about the Denzel Aberdeen situation here. We've heard coaches talk about the 5 for 5. So this is from ESPN.com, and I'm gonna read you the greatest hits. The NCAA Division I cabinet unanimously approved a new 5-year, age-based eligibility model on Tuesday. Under the new rule, athletes in all sports will be given 5 years of eligibility over 5 seasons once their college eligibility clock begins. Basically, this eliminates the needs for red shirts and things of that sort. The 5-year clock will start upon initial full-time enrollment in college or at the beginning of the academic year following their 19th birthday. The move is meant to get rid of red shirts and waivers. Here's the interesting part, and the one that people need to keep their ears open on. Athletes who just completed their 4th season of eligibility without a red shirt would not be granted an additional year.
Yeah, so that's the question then becomes, are you grandfathered in a bad way? You're grandfathered in to you don't get the extra year, like, and you don't want to be grandfathered. You want to be grandfathered in if it helps you. This, you want the new rule to take effect.
Yeah.
So you want to be grandfathered out, if you will. So back to Denzel Aberdeen. If this rule had been in place a year ago, then he could play this 5th year next year without needing a waiver.
Right.
But because the language you just read out is that guys like Aberdeen, who's already played 4 years and did not have a redshirt year, they can't all of a sudden now play a 5th year. Well, that's kind of weird. If you're doing it, why not do it for the kids that are already there?
Exactly.
Because the second part of that is what does it then do to the waiver process? So if what they're saying there is this doesn't take effect till next year, which means you can still ask for a waiver this year, I would imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you just read means, and now, by the way, I think 5 to play 5 is a really good idea. I've thought that. Lou Holtz talked about that in the 90s. 5 to play 5 is what they should be doing. There's no red shirts. You got 5 to play 5. There's no waivers for extra years. You're age based. You can't be a 28-year-old guy that didn't play. That's just it. It's 5 to play 5, and that's the end of the conversation. I like it, but the transition time is what's difficult. How do you tell a kid now? Because here come the lawsuits again. How do you tell a kid now he can't do it, but 1 year later he would be able to do it?
And you have 5 years of eligibility. So I guess my question is, all right, we always talk about the traditional freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Well, what if you choose to play 5 years? Is it a super senior situation now?
Yeah.
I mean, how is it going to be classified?
You mean next time around?
Yeah. If you get 5 years to play 5, getting rid of red shirts, so technically you can play 5 years of college athletics.
What are you your 4th year? If you're a senior, what are you your 5th year?
Right.
5th year senior, I guess.
5th year senior, super senior, whatever.
Yeah, I will say this.
A grown-ass man.
You are that.
But Frank's right. I mean, you have 27-year-olds playing college athletics right now.
Oh, yeah.
This will eliminate that.
I'm a big believer the one-time transfer needs to go with this. Now, they didn't approve that today, but the one-time transfer without sitting out a year has to go with
That's
this.
what we all really want.
That really is. And I think we'll get it. I think, again, one thing we've been talking about, Hacker, on our program, Hayes, JJ, and I, for the longest time, and you when you sit in here with one of us, is there's so much angst now that the organization finally has pushed back. And so everybody's been eligible whatever they want to do. I think the establishment has finally said enough's enough. And that's why you're seeing
they have the backing of the public for the first time.
For the first time ever.
Forever.
That's exactly. The NCAA's never had anybody on their side.
Right.
They finally do. So that's why the Bediako thing. That's why the Sorsby thing. Now, the bad thing is if you're a Gator basketball fan, that could mean Aberdeen, who obviously would have expected to get eligible because everybody wins their waiver, might not win it now.
Right.
You know, that because the establishment has started to fight back. And I will tell you, this is a conversation for another day. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the basketball tomorrow. But the Florida basketball team, which everybody thinks is going to be the greatest collection of basketball players in the history of the sport, well, if they don't have Aberdeen, then you still got to ask the question, who's making shots?
Complicates things.
Yeah, I mean,
then you start, Boogie Flan and Clavsar.
Yeah, Clavsar starts and Isaiah Brown, and they're all fine. But I mean, they're all good players. They'll have a good team either way. But right now, everybody pretty much expects Florida to go 31-0 and win every game by 50 points. Okay,
right.
well, the reality that I mean, everyone thinks it's going to be this great team, and I think they're going to be good, by the way. But Aberdeen is a gigantic part of that.
Sure,
I think so. So it'll be interesting. By the way, Dusty May to the Mavericks. You made a great point yesterday. With all the crap in college athletics, why not just get out and make your millions now? You know what the NBA is. Todd Golden, who everybody says has got NBA written all over him, who's never denied that. Young guy. Got a national title like Dusty May does. Everybody's coming back. They're running it back one more time. Okay, this is a let's run it back one more time. They all came back. Chinyelu, Condon, Houck, Fland, Aberdeen if he gets eligible. Well, they're all gone. There's no conversation now. They're all gone. Is it safe to assume if he gets an offer, Golden goes with him?
I mean, I thought Todd Golden would get NBA looks this year, and he didn't. I think absolutely that he's going to be in the NBA sooner rather than later. And I think next year, if he gets offers, because like you said, they are losing the bulk of their players, particularly in the front court. Yeah, I think Florida Gator basketball fans should enjoy this season, should enjoy Todd Golden, because I don't think there is a guarantee that he's going to return in 2027, 2028.
Right. Now, the other side of that is, as we talked about yesterday, teams just aren't hiring college coaches anymore. They're hiring whoever Portland just hired today, whoever Orlando just hired. That's who they're hiring. They're hiring the assistant coach across the board.
Dusty May is an outlier.
Dusty May is an outlier, and Danny Hurley got an offer.
Yeah.
So had he taken the Lakers offer, then he would have been the outlier. So the question becomes, Todd Golden's not going anywhere because they don't do that anymore, or are the national championship coaches who are young and energetic, like Dusty May and Danny Hurley and Todd Golden, the outliers, and will he become the latest outlier? And I don't know that answer, but that question's got to be asked.
And I wonder how Dusty May does this year, if that affects how people look at Todd Golden.
Got to wonder, don't you? Yeah. You have to wonder if not just Todd Golden, because it's been no one's done it since Beeline, and that was an unmitigated disaster.
Horrible.
But none of them worked. I'll say it again: Patino and Calipari and Lon Kruger and Mike Montgomery, these good coaches. None of them worked.
I mean, Billy wasn't great, but he was the best of what's been out there recently.
But that didn't work either.
Didn't work.
Yeah. So none of those worked. So now all of a sudden someone goes and tries it again with Dusty May. You're right. There's a lot of college coaches that might one day want to be in the NBA. If Luke Laux is good at FSU, I don't know if he's going to be any good, but if he is, he's got NBA written on. He's been an NBA assistant for years. So guys like that, what happens with Dusty May is going to have a lot to do with that.
Sure.
I think that's a bit of a test case. It'll be interesting to see.
I think Golden was really smart. If he actually did get offered that Golden State job, I think it was a really smart decision and not to. I mean, like, from an outsider's point of view, you're thinking, well, it's the Warriors. I mean, what a great team to join. They are going down. This is the absolute worst time to take over that franchise.
In 2 years, all those guys will be gone.
Exactly. Yeah. He has to see that. He has to see what's coming back at Florida and think, there's going to be a better opportunity waiting for him.
Yeah, the truth is with pro sports, particularly with the NBA, maybe not baseball because there's still some inequity in the dollars, but particularly in the NBA and NFL, the brand doesn't have much to do with how good you are. It's how good your players, your coaches. I mean, you think about that. I mean, the Spurs never did anything, and then all of a sudden, Pop and Duncan and Ginobili and Parker come along and they win everything.
The Cleveland Cavaliers,
right? And then Duncan and Ginobili and Parker and Pop go. Then they're terrible again, and then they fell into Wemby.
Yeah.
So I mean, the brand doesn't matter.
It's not like the Steelers or even the Cowboys to some degree
over all those years. So it'll be interesting to see. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap the program. We'll say hello to Rick Ballou. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A blockbuster trade in the NBA Monday as the Milwaukee Bucks send Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat in exchange for 4 players, including Tyler Hero, and a package of draft picks. This moves Miami to the third best bet to win the Eastern Conference next season at plus 650, behind the Boston Celtics at plus 220 and the New York Knicks at plus 270. Miami is also the 5th best bet to win the NBA championship next year at plus 2,000. Oklahoma City plus 250 to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. San Antonio is at plus 260. The Boston Celtics are plus 600. And the New York Knicks, the defending champions, are plus 750.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Ticking here, or maybe you should call me Dreamfinders Danny. Look what Dreamfinders is doing again, an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Frank Frangie here. Truck Month is back at Nimnik Buick GMC, and so is 0% financing for 60 months on GMC Sierra trucks. I know all about that. I drive a GMC Sierra from Nimnik. I really do, and I really love it. And rates haven't been this low in years. With the largest selection of GMC Sierra trucks in the region, Nimnik Buick GMC is the place to go. It's what you've been dreaming about, and I promise you they treat you right. Shop at NimnikBuickGMC.com or head to the showroom on Phillips Highway. The best prices, the best service. That's easy. Nobody but Nimnik.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Prosser here. Who are you? Really? 1010XL wants to know. Just by filling out the listener survey on 1010XL.com, you could win Jags tickets to the home opener, Gator football tickets, Jumbo Shrimp tickets, and more. All you have to do is tell us more about you. Fill out the 1010 listener survey at 1010XL.com. What kind of vehicles do you drive? Are you a business owner? What part of 1010XL do you like the most? We want to get to know you better so we can serve you better. Go to 1010XL.com, fill out the survey, and you could be a winner.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnik Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Sure appreciate my friends from the Nimnik family of dealership. Thanks to my friends at Nimnik very, very much. Hey, a couple things to remind you of. We will be live. Hacker's going to work with us one more day here in studio. Then Rhino Halloran joins. We will be live at the Lemon Bar, compliments of Modelo, as we get set for the third World Cup game involving the United States. Not till 10 o'clock that night. We'll be getting ready for it out at the Lemon Bar that day. And then next week, Hayes will be back in. I'm excited about this for next week. On next Thursday, We're going to go. Walk-off charities. We're putting together maybe the biggest baseball tournament we've ever done. Teams from all over the Southeast, 50, 60 teams. Teams from South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, all over the state of Florida. And then on Thursday, we're going to be live there because our friends from Firewatch, Mike Fleming and the good folks, Nick Howland and the folks from Firewatch, are putting it on as we make it's the ultimate patriotic week. It'll be July 2nd. We'll be out there at the Bregan Baseball Complex. Great baseball, by the way. The CCBL, the College League, will be playing their All-Star game that night, which is a fantastic event. We'll have all the other teams from the youth teams from all over will be there celebrating. We'll be doing our show there. And then on Saturday, on the 4th of July, from 10 to 2, we're actually holding, and we learned this from our friends at the Players, we're actually holding a veterans job fair.
Oh, nice.
Veteran suicide is a real thing, as we've heard Mike Fleming talk about on our show many times, and getting acclimated back into the workplace is one of the hardest things for people that have served in the military. We'll have probably close to 300 members of the military that will be out there. We'll have 15 companies or so that will interview them, and it'll be 10 to 2 on the 4th of July. When all this is going on at our baseball tournament and at the Bregan Baseball Complex at Fort Family Park. So we're very excited about it. We're going to kick it off with our Thursday show. Not this Thursday. This Thursday we're at Lemon Bar, but next Thursday. So we're really excited about that. We're excited about hopefully making a difference in some veterans' lives. So it's going to be, that comes up the following, again, not this Thursday, comes up next Thursday. So we're certainly looking forward to that. We're going to say hello to Rick Ballou in a minute. What do you have coming up?
Yeah, so Jordan Dejani of CBS Sports wrote an article yesterday, Biggest Losers of the NFL Offseason. And he listed the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 1 on that list. Now, Jordan's a friend. I've had him on countless times over the last 4 or 5 years. I reached out to him. I said, hey, Jaguar Twitter has taken notice that you said the Jaguars were, quote, the biggest loser of the NFL offseason. And he said, yeah, I'll come on and defend my take. So I'm going to have Jordan Dejani of CBS Sports on to talk about that tonight. Coming up right about 8:15, 8:20. Also, Mike DeRocco of ESPN.com right about 9 o'clock this evening.
So Jordan can talk about how he didn't think the Jags did very well in the offseason. Maybe D-Rock can talk about the fact that how about the fact they won 13 games?
Yeah,
that
too.
Is that
yes.
a little balance?
I think so.
There'll be a little balance for you there. So Hack does a great job of the show that comes up. But first, Rick Ballou comes up. Let's say hello to Rick.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
You're a golf fan. What did you make of that announcement today that there's now going to be 2 series, 23 tournaments, 23, 24 tournaments in the championship series, another 20-some in the Challenger Series, relegation and promotion. What'd you make of the story?
More the better. I mean, I love it. And, we're in a weird era. We had 13 golfers from the Live Tour in last week's United States Open, 20 amateurs. We all, noticed what Miles Russell did, which was incredible, a +7 through 72 holes, at Shinnecock. But there's, I was watching the baseball combine earlier today, and, the NBA draft, they just give away these picks. They're not important. We get so deep into the NFL draft, and it's an imperfect science, but at least you think you know what you're getting out of these players. There are so many great golfers who really struggle with their short game, and they can't putt. But I think it's a sport where you can get better. I still think Scotty Scheffler can get better. So it's going to give young guys and those, who even have a card an opportunity to play in more events. And I just think the more golf, the better. I'm kind of excited about it.
I am too. And by the way, it'll add great drama. When a Ricky Fowler or a Jordan Spieth might be fighting for to not be relegated in August, that's another storyline we don't have right now. So
it's a sport that needs it. I've heard others say forever, whether it's Arena or XFL or USFL or no matter what it was, I don't watch football during that 6-month period that it's not the NFL and it's not college football. There are others out there who do. They love it and they want to be a part of it, Canadian football, whatever. I'm not a fan of that. But golf, I think the more the better. And why not be even creative here and, schedule things where it's not going head-to-head with the PGA Tour? I mean, why not have a 54-hole event and played on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, well, certainly they're starting to do some different things.
Yes, no doubt about it.
All right, what's coming up?
All right, we got a bunch on that tonight. Certainly, we're going to talk about the Brandon Sorsby situation and no supplemental draft. And, what is the NFL saying here? I think that this is a enormous statement made by the NFL. I don't know if it's going to be able to hold because apparently it's not a part of the collective bargaining agreement. Will the NFL Players Union step forward and fight for a kid who's never been anywhere near an NFL stadium? I mean, they're going to defend one of theirs, but this is a guy that 2 weeks ago was still a part of Texas Tech. So to me, it's absolutely incredible. And we're going to begin with that.
A lot of storylines at this time of year, no question. Rick, thanks. Rick goes in tonight right now. One more day with Hacker and me. We got a lot to talk about. We'll do it on the Wednesday installment of the program. Brett Hastings will be by tomorrow. Greg McGarity, Executive Director of the Gator Bowl, coming by as well. So we got a lot to do tomorrow on the program. That'll do it for us. Rick is next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.